I'm here with John Dawson, and he is running for State Representative, District 67. And he just got done telling me that, and I still forgot it.
Tennessee District 67.
There you go. Tennessee District 67. Absolutely. So, John, can you just tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
I am a Christian conservative. I'm a retired veteran. Retired out of Fort Campbell in 2007. My wife and I still live here in the community, and we have understand the family issues of living in the community. It's just a person and family. Both my kids have served in the military now, served their time, got out, and have grown and moved on about their ways. But we are celebrating our 30th anniversary this year.
Oh, congratulations. I didn't know that. Yes, tell your wife congratulations for me.
I will. Yes, in December 7th, as a matter of fact.
Nice.
She has been my strong arm in all of this. But the good Lord has given me the ability to retire at this point and provide a full-time effort on this. I just relinquished command of DAV 45, as we were talking about just a few moments ago, which has been a good thing, serving with DAV. They are very strong, and I continue to work with them.
It's a large organization.
It is.
What, 1,500 members?
We are the largest in the state at 1,600 plus members.
Wow, that's great.
Second only to Memphis.
Wow, that's wonderful.
Memphis is fast approaching.
Yeah.
So, but that is where I am in my life currently. I've enjoyed being out in the neighborhoods during this political campaign, talking to thousands of people now. I mean, thousands and thousands.
Doing that face to face.
You have to understand what's going on in the community. Sure. You have to. Veterans from, Korean War all the way forward now, we've met and talked to. And it's primarily me and my wife out there. My campaign crew this year was all 2020 graduates.
Oh, really?
Yes, every one of them. Right now, 2020 graduates. Most of them are gone off to college and serving. They're calling in school, which they enjoy. Got one over at Tennessee Tech, two at MTSU now, and one at Florida State, and then one here at Austin P. Two at Austin P, actually.
Oh, wow.
So, yes, they still help us in the background with stuff. So, we really enjoyed having the kids, and they've enjoyed getting familiar with a lot of the programs from the political side, but as well the veteran side of it, and interacting.
And it's good to see young people getting involved and really understanding what a difference they can make in their very own future.
Correct.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And
what made you want to join?
Join? Well, the join was some years ago now. What made me want to run? First and foremost, it was a need. We each have our own calling, and we are inspired in different manners. I've been a government contractor for the last 11 and a half years until last year. Looking at some of the projects and the waste that the government has, it just inspires you to look at different ways of streamlining, finding efficiency in things. As you were talking about with data, being one of the hardest things to look at.
Have time for.
That was my primary job. We looked at millions of lines.
Okay.
We had a team that looked at 3.5 million lines of data in a year to break it down for the military for weapon systems. We did cost analysis, personnel analysis, that kind of stuff, but we did the deep data mining portion of it. And that really enlightens you to a lot of the issues that are out there within it. Even within our own community, we estimate there's roughly 30,000 veterans within Montgomery County. Well, how do we quantify those numbers? We have enough issues going through VA VA has a problem getting people to register. We run into a lot of them, and we tell them, please, even if you don't use the system, go and register.
Please go add your numbers.
Absolutely. It's one of those things, you may not see the effect, but somebody that's down the road.
I mean, we're pushing 40,000 now. I mean, we've surpassed Davidson County.
Wow.
Before you know it, we'll overtake Memphis in our numbers.
But we have to have those numbers to be able to fight for veterans in our state, within our district, but nationwide.
Yeah.
And when we don't have those numbers to quantify the fight that we're after, we lose out. They lose out.
Absolutely.
In a big way.
Mm-hmm.
And it comes back to our veteran suicide rates.
Mm-hmm.
How do we quantify those numbers? Because we can throw a number out there. Anybody can throw a number out there, but is it quantifiable?
Right.
Is it truly what it's representing? We don't want to give a false impression that we've got this, but it's actually a lower or a higher number, which is the horrible part of it.
Right, right.
We've gotten wrapped up so much now in what's going in our national politics that we forget that 80 to 90% of everything that happens in your life happens from your city, your county, and your state legislative.
Yeah.
And politicians here, we as Tennessee need to understand that that's just a portion of what we're fighting for.
Absolutely. And how much comes through, you remember the coalition, we're constantly pushing, you've got to see how much, as a veteran, your local leaders affect your daily life.
Correct.
And how much they can do and change.
Correct.
I mean, look how much has changed just since 2015.
Correct. Yes. Because we look at the community and the state as a whole. When we look at it, from my perspective on this, is we should be looking at how do we benefit our veteran-owned businesses?
Right.
How do we support them? How do we help them grow? Those that are wanting to start their own business, do we have a facility or the capabilities here to help them write a grant as you go through and to learn about grants? But those that are wanting to start a new business, the entrepreneurship in it, we provide for our developers, the tax breaks and that kind of stuff. But our smaller businesses, I shouldn't say lower, our smaller business don't understand all the ins and outs. And I've talked to business people here in town that would very much like to start something in that manner and be able to train and cross-train our veterans and our community small businesses.
Yeah, and even though we have the Tennessee Small Business Association, which does a great job on helping to teach about, writing business plans and things of that nature, helping specifically our veteran-owned businesses really understand the process and what's available to them simply because they're a veteran.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. There's a lot that's just, when we get into reading regulations and stuff, there's so much convoluted that's in there that people give up.
Oh, there's
too many
nothing
times.
like reading through government
Regulations
and regulations, and that will put you out like a light.
Reading it in a concept is great.
Yes.
But putting it rubber to the road, as the saying goes, there's a difference in there.
Sure.
And
absolutely.
understanding the economics behind it. But if we have businesses already here, partner with them and bring them in. Hey, I can train you. I can help with that. And that's part of what the coalition does as well, is they give them a venue to come in. Hey, I need some help on this. Who would be the best person to talk to?
Right, right.
And that should be part of what we push. For me as a legislator, that would be a priority to try and help get those business partnerships going within the community. We have so much vast experience here. And I mean, a wide array with our military veterans. But the spouses have to be included in that as well.
Sure.
There's teachers out there, there's business owners out there that have the understanding and the knowledge. Why can we not tap them to help, to get them more involved in this?
Mm-hmm.
So, but with the national politics, we have walked away from our opioid crisis at this point. You don't hear too much about it anymore. It's sad that it's running that
And
way.
meth is on the rise in Tennessee.
Yes, yes.
I was actually, that just came up the other day because I had read an article or something and they were saying meth is on the rise again. It's making a resurgence.
Yes.
And what an awful scary thought that is, you know?
I think a lot of the COVID has driven a lot of
Sure.
depression
It has. Yes, it absolutely has.
frustrations
Mhm.
in this,
And fears.
and fears, absolutely, that people lose trust in it a lot of times and turn away from it, and we should be able to help with that. Our suicide rate.
So what's some of the legislation that you would like to see develop
I would like to go back
for
in
veterans?
and look at what we've got on our books already.
Right.
Tennessee is the volunteer state, and we've got some college stuff currently,
Mhm.
fishing license, that kind of stuff, small game license for 30% veterans or more. But we need to look at what can we provide with our veteran community.
Mhm.
What do they need? And I bring it back to you. What do you see
Mhm.
that our veteran community, because this is a partnership.
Absolutely. And the coalition has been so blessed, as you know, to have an open door with all of our legislators to be able to come to them and say, okay, this is what we're seeing. Together, we have developed this plan, this legislative piece is what we need help with. And we've been so blessed and fortunate to have that ongoing relationship.
Correct. And it has to be there.
If we come up with a solution, our battle isn't will our legislators back us. Our battle is coming up with the solution.
Correct.
Mhm.
And part of my platform is it's education, community, and infrastructure
Mhm,
currently.
mhm,
But the community is the central nucleus of everything, and the community has to be part of the solutions.
Yeah.
For me to be interacting with the community, that allows for me to know what's going on.
Sure.
But you as a coalition
Mhm.
also can bring that to us.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
that's
And you've
it has
seen
to
a
be
lot
part of it.
during this shutdown through like Loaves and Fishes and Urban Ministries.
Absolutely.
And, you know, man, some of those food drives through Urban Ministries, I mean, the line just keeps coming.
3 hours, 4 hours some days,
Yeah.
and it's truly amazing that the people that serve over there.
400 boxes.
Yeah, it's-
and it's not like a little box.
Yeah, no, it's
This is mad.
tell my
This
back
is
about
groceries.
that.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, tell
Yeah.
my back about it. Yeah, but all of the people that are in there and working with them,
Mhm.
the people that come through are very gracious,
They are.
very humble,
Yes.
and we do it just because me and my wife gotten to where we enjoy going down there
Mhm.
and hanging out with everybody, just talking, seeing what's going on. But the people that come through, I mean, you get the full array,
Sure.
and it's supporting the community.
Absolutely.
There's other food drives going on in the community currently.
Oh, yes, yes.
There are.
Uh-huh. And I just mentioned those because I
Mhm.
know that that's where we cross paths.
Absolutely.
Is in those two places. And just, man, the magnitude of, you know, and one of the benefits, I guess, for me with the shutdown was, you know, I'm oftentimes so busy doing the paperwork and the this and the that of running the coalition that I don't always get those times to do those one-on-one volunteers with food distributions and the showers that we've been doing weekly, and that gave me an opportunity to do that.
It's a humbling experience to actually be. I can watch it on social media. I can watch it on the news, but to be there, working with the people and for the community. It's totally different. It's like being out there beating on doors every afternoon, every day of the week, except Sundays.
Right.
Sundays are off limits.
Yeah.
That's good Lord's Day and family time. So, but the humbling experience comes more from being able to serve and knowing that you make a difference
Right.
for someone. And it's great. It's been a wonderful opportunity. And I think part of this has actually brought neighborhoods back together as well.
Yeah. Depending on your neighbor, figuring out who your neighbor is, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
We talked to people last night, as a matter of fact, that hadn't known their neighbor 2 houses down for 4 years.
Wow.
But
yeah.
now they've gotten out there and done barbecues in their cul-de-sac.
Nice.
So most of us are so wound up on work, going.
Like I said,
This has slowed everything down a little bit.
Get so boggled down.
Yes,
yeah.
absolutely.
So what do you feel, has we've talked about kind of who you are and what motivated you to run and kind of what you would like to see happen for the veterans in our community. But do you feel like there's things that people just don't know about you that you'd like for them to know?
I want to be a legislator that if you see me in Kroger,
yeah,
or Home Depot, Walmart, hey John, can we take a minute and talk?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I had a couple of people the other day ask me, actually, while we were out door knocking, you as a legislator, we never see too many of our legislators, our city councils. They get wound up, like you were saying, in the business, the work of stuff. Would you be willing to stop at a barbecue that's on somebody's driveway and just say hello? And I said, absolutely. Why wouldn't I? Because that just builds the rapport, and knowing that your legislator or your representative is out there in the community taking the time and effort.
That really goes towards an important issue for me anyway. When we first started doing Veterans Day on the Hill, it's sometimes intimidating for somebody to think, oh, well, they're a state representative or they're a state legislator, they're too busy for me or they don't want to hear, but their voice matters. And that kind of speaks to that, like
Correct.
Doing things to make it not an intimidating position, making yourself more approachable because you're, oh, hey, it's just John.
Exactly. When I would do Sunday school lessons for the kids and the high school students, I put my socks on just like everybody else. I need you to understand I'm not any better. I'm still human, still make mistakes.
Right.
But I will work for you and with you. But I need you to work in partnership with me.
Yeah, you can't know what you don't know.
Exactly.
Right. You can't know as a legislator what's going on if someone doesn't tell you.
Correct.
So you depend on, like you said, it's a partnership. You depend on them to bring things to your awareness, because I think oftentimes too, people just assume you know things. I can't know what I don't know.
Absolutely. It's like we were talking about with data mining earlier, data numbers. We, as a legislator, we get an assistant, my understanding of it, and we do have some resources, but we also need resources within our communities that can actually do the data mining and the data research here. But we have to be able to have reliable sources that will give us actually good numbers, and I have to have a team that's trustworthy on it and be able to say, hey, John, we're seeing this or we're not seeing this. What do we need to look at? Well, let's get you in contact with Memphis or Nashville's veteran groups, or Chattanooga, Knoxville. Any one of the bigger, Lawrenceburg has a huge veteran community.
They do.
They have a very large community. And they work very well together. But to me, it's those are the resources that we need from a legislative position to be able to reach out and say, hey, what are you seeing in your own community? You know what's going on there. It's like our teachers. You know what's going on in the school. How do we fix what's going on in your community?
Mm-hmm. And, that's actually a mindset of the coalition, in that we believe that those working directly with veterans have a better understanding of what the problems are and what the solutions are. Now, whether they have the ability to do a macro solution, to implement a macro solution or create that solution is a different conversation, and we have things in place to address that. But I agree with you in that I think those in the direct service are going to have a better understanding of what's going on. Yeah. Well, I sure do appreciate you taking the time. I
Absolutely.
know you are busy knocking on some doors.
Busy, absolutely, yes. Every day.
I know, but that vote's coming up very soon.
I want the coalition to open back up. I want to get this open back up and moving.
Well,
even if we're sitting in the front parking lot.
Well, we started doing the hybrid online and in person meeting, but we're trying to be so careful and mindful because
Correct.
We have many veterans that are at risk.
Correct.
And so we don't want to set up anything. We want to bring it back, but we want to do so in a safe way. So we're doing it with masks. We're doing it with 6 feet. Stacey Hopwood's got her measuring tape out, and she's measuring between chairs.
Absolutely. And that's been one of the challenges going to the doors. In July, we had gloves and masks.
I've thought about y'all, like, how in the world are you running a campaign in this environment?
It's challenging most days, but the people are very receptive to us being out there.
Okay.
We knock on a door and then back completely off of their porch.
Okay.
10, 15 feet sometimes. Mm-hmm. And it's a privacy thing. It's your home. I'm not going to be up against your door first and foremost, but I can talk to you from bottom of the steps to the front door just as easily. And the people have been wonderful.
Oh, good.
They really have in talking to us, expressing. When you ask, do you have any concerns for the community, most of them will come back and say, no, I don't have any. Here's my email. Shoot me an email. I'm the one that answers the phone calls. I'm the one that answers the emails.
Because once you have a minute to think about it, it's like I'm in a meeting, and the minute I leave, I think of 30 things that I could have said that I suddenly remembered. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, we are so glad that you took the time in your busy schedule to come by and talk to us, and hopefully you'll be able to be at our next meeting.
Absolutely.
All right,
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much, John.
Keep us on the mailer.
I sure will.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.